What's up everyone? In this episode of Motive Garage presented by Sparesbox, we unveil our new daily driver and tow vehicle. Let's go. So here it is, our brand new daily driver and tow vehicle, a new Nissan Navara Pro 4X that we got from the guys from Sutton's City Nissan. Now, if you've ever talked to me about utes before, you'll know that I've generally said that I don't really like them. I've had a Hyundai iLoad now for nearly 10 years as our major tow vehicle and work hack, and always praised just how good it is. And every time I tried a dual cab ute, I always came back to the iLoad. But a couple of years ago, I got to drive and review the previous model of Nissan Navara Warrior and changed my mind. I loved it. It was a great daily driver. It drove well, it towed well, it did everything right. And my mind got changed on utes. So what came about for this purchase is pretty simple. I've been driving my Supra as a daily driver, but I only drive it 10 minutes to work, and then I jump in the van to go to all the different shoots and things that we do. And here's the problem. The van's now 10 years old, 200,000 Ks on the clock. I don't want to get rid of it. I just want to put it downstairs and only use it for major events. So I needed a car that could do daily driving, go to every shoot that we do, and it could tow. So really, a dual cab ute was our best option. And let's face it, modern utes now come with a lot more creature comforts than they used to be, and they drive way better than they used to. So it was a pretty easy choice. Now you're all going to tell me which ute I should have bought, but I'm a Nissan guy. So no matter what you say, when Jet 200 or GDR on a trailer on the back of this thing, it's going to look awesome. And obviously that's the reason I chose this color. And the reason we came to Sutton City Nissan, a couple of reasons. We worked with their sister dealership over at Rosebery Subaru for the launch of the BRZ, and they gave us a great deal and great service. So from here, what do? Well, first up, we're going to review the car. Not as someone that borrowed it, not a journalist with a press car, but as an owner to tell you exactly what this thing's really like. And then of course, this is Motive Video. We're going to get some mods done. Let's go.
We won't regurgitate the Navara brochure. You can check that out for yourself on the Nissan Australia website. But the things that mattered to us were the 3.5 tonne brake towing capacity, as well as the 1 tonne carrying capacity, along with the leather interior and all of the essential mod cons inside that make for a great upgrade from our iLoad and make daily driving much more comfortable. Engine-wise, we agree. It could do with some more power and torque from the twin-turbo 2.3 litre diesel, and we're hoping the aftermarket can help us with that. But it does the job just fine. The looks of the car were also important to us too, and we love it. The grey with black and red accents suits the Motive Garage fleet perfectly. After a few weeks of daily driving, our first big test was towing the R32 GTR to Cootamundra for the 2022 Platinum Racing Products GTR Challenge. The Navara towed better than we expected, but it does require a lowered tow ball to tow its best with our car trailer. Tow mode works great around town, but chews way too much fuel on the highway, so it's best left in normal mode. With a drag strip at our disposal and the timing gear needing to be checked, who were we to say no to some real-world acceleration testing of the Navara? Real-world figures saw 0 to 100 times of mid-11s and a best quarter mile time of 17.64 at 125 kilometers per hour. But most importantly, we did discover that it can chuck a skid. So in 1 month and 2,000 kilometers of ownership with the Navara Pro 4X, I've done everything in it that I will basically ever intend to do in it. I've driven it to Newcastle and back, so I've had highway kilometers, I've daily driven it, I've done the school run, shopping, used it for work, and I've used it to tow to Cootamundra and back. All the things that I said I would use it for. And the best compliment that I can ever give a ute, because I don't really like utes, is I don't hate driving it. Now, I'm not going to say that it's the most pleasant experience ever and I can't wait to drive it of a morning, but I actually don't hate driving it. It's serving its purpose really well. The easiest way to put it is everything I asked this ute to do, it's doing it well. It has all the mod cons I expect of a brand new car, and I'm so used to that from press cars lately. So I'm pretty happy with, I guess, all the features that it has. I love the look of it. And yeah, it drives great. Obviously there are some things I would change if Nissan let me. The main thing is give us more power. Manufacturers of utes, listen to Australians. We want more power and torque in our utes. Only the Amarok and the new Raptor with the V6 actually make some grunt. For some reason, they just keep on making 4-cylinder turbo diesel utes that just don't make the power that we want to have. So that's one thing I'd change. The other thing I would change is I would lower the seat a little bit. It's not terrible like it is in the Ranger, but it is, just could do with lowering a little bit, just this little bit. I want to put a hard lid on it and probably some storage devices in the boot so you can store things a little bit better in the back. But these are only little things, but I do love the fact that this car doesn't have leaf spring. It's got coils and shocks, and yeah, it drives really good even when empty. Some utes, when they're empty, do drive very skitterish. They need some load in it to work well, but this thing drives great all of the time. And like I said, I don't hate it. I'd like to put some wheels on it, a hard lid, give it a tune. This is motive, so I can't leave it stock, but we'll get started on that in the next episode on this. But to finish our review of the Navara, we need to do one more thing, and that is do what I never do and go four-wheel driving. They did say the Pro 4X is designed for four-wheel driving, so let's go hit the mud. Let's do it. Four-wheel drive track. Let's go. I don't know what it's like. I haven't been here in a while, but I guess we'll find out. Oh, had gnarly ruts, aren't they? Oh, yeah. Oh. Here's some four-wheel driving for you. Oh, look at that rut up there, though. I don't know. How are we going to get that, I wonder? That wasn't just a dirt road. That actually required a four-wheel drive. The last time I came up here, it wasn't that bad actually. Like to the point where I could have got my ute up, I could have got my van up here if I really wanted to. Well, four-wheel driving in this is actually pretty fun. I'm certainly not a four-wheel drive expert. If you want to see four-wheel drive experts on YouTube, you should probably go somewhere else. But if I'm able to jump in this, use what's available off the showroom floor and go on a four-wheel drive track like that with zero issues, well then it must be a pretty good thing. Do I want to take it four-wheel driving more? Maybe, I guess. Wouldn't mind a bit of Stockton Beach action or something like that. So for basic four-wheel driving, it's still good to have that ability, and maybe I'll go and make the most of it. But stay tuned, because in a future episode of Motive Garage, we're going to start modifying our Navara. Let's go. I thought the four-wheel driving was going to be the end of this video, but then I realised every other car I take up here, I take through Old Pack, and the Navara it gives you a bit of a giggle. It's certainly not, I'm going to detour every time, but the handling through Old Pack is surprisingly good, and that's probably got a lot to do with having coils rather than leaf springs. So when it's got nothing in the back, it's not too stiff and skitterish. It actually drives really well. As you know, a good measure of how good a car is how much higher that can go than the recommended corner speed. And we're certainly not doing the recommended corner speed in this. So if we were out with mates and they were trying to drive the back way somewhere, the Navara wouldn't get left too far behind for a ute. It's certainly not, it's not a sports car, but that was just fun enough that I would detour Old Pack if I was feeling a little bit bored one day and felt like a bit of fun. Usually, if someone said, would you like to detour in your van or in a ute, I would laugh and go, don't be a moron. But yeah, no, the Navara's all right. Like I said, not a sports car, but it's enough fun that I can tip it in like this and it sticks pretty good. It's pretty fun. All right, this really is the end of this episode of Motive Garage. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more modifications on our Nissan Navara Pro 4X. See you next time.